Hi, this is Frank Buck, and this is the place to be if you want to get organized and make it look easy. Today, we're going to be talking about Evernote for the college student. In an information age, being able to instantly trap information that's important to you, easily retrieve and edit that information, and share that information with others is no small thing. When I was in college, a loose leaf notebook and a good ballpoint pen, well, those were your tools. That's all you needed. We didn't have PowerPoint presentations from the professor. We didn't have the ability to augment our notes with snippets from the internet. And there was no long URL that had to be written down with 100% accuracy. Well, over time, tools change, but they're principles that endure. Now, I've written before about note-taking in the academic world. The notes taken in class must be seen as a draft. And I think that draft is still best done on paper. But then within the day, clean up and enter those notes in a notebook. And in today's digital world, I think Evernote serves as an excellent place to put those digital notes. Let's talk about notes, notebooks, and stacks. In Evernote, a notebook is like a loose leaf notebook of the analog world. A note is like a piece of paper to put in that notebook, and a stack is a collection of notebooks. Think of it like a shelf in a bookcase that's filled with notebooks. I'm going to share my screen and demonstrate some of this for you. Let's say I'm a college student and we're starting a brand new semester. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go in and create a new notebook for each class that I'm taking. So I'm in the Evernote desktop client for Windows, but whatever version you're using, it's going to look very similar. Over here, I click on notebooks. I see my entire list of notebooks, and to create a new one, I just click here on new notebook. So let's say this is going to be English 101. Hit OK, and my notebook has been created for me. And here is my new notebook. Now, I'm taking more than just that one class, so let's go back up to the top. Let's take say a new notebook, and this is going to be music appreciation. And we'll say okay, and let's say maybe let's have one more notebook. This is going to be American History 101. So I have three classes, I have three notebooks, I'll stop there. Now my notebooks are sort of spread out though along this list of notebooks. I'd like to have them all together. So I'm going to create a stack. So let me go down here and first of all, let me find that English 101 notebook that I had created. Here it is. So over on the side, I see these three dots. I'm going to click those three dots, and one of the things it says is that I can add to a stack. It shows me the stacks that I have or gives me the ability to create a new one. So I'm going to say new stack. Let's scroll up here. Here's where I have all of my other stacks. And now here's one named Notebook Stack. I'll click on it and you can see that there's one notebook in it that says English 101. Now I probably don't want that stack to be called that. Let me click the three dots. I'm going to say rename it, and let's rename that stack to Fall 2020. And okay. Now we also had that American History. Let me find that notebook. Let's see, there's my music appreciation right there. Let's click over here on the three dots and go to add to stack. But instead of new stack, you can see that my Fall 2020 appears right there. I'll just click it, and that's going to add that notebook to that particular stack. And then I had one more. I had that American History. Here's my American History notebook. I'll click the three dots. I'll say I want to add to stack. I want it to say Fall 2020. And so now when I go back up, here's my stack of Fall 2020. Let me click. And there are my three notebooks. When I click on each notebook, I'll double click, and you can see that there are no notes in there, but very easy to add a note. Just click on the new note button. I'm now inside this new note. You can see that it's in my American History 101 notebook, and I'll title it maybe with the date of this lecture or something that's descriptive of this lecture, but I'll just say this is first class meeting. Now I can enter notes in here. Again, my recommendation is in class, pencil and paper, but it's a draft. When you get back to the dorm, you get back to your apartment, sit down later in the day with those draft notes and clean it up so that what is here is pristine. Type whatever you want to, just like any other word processor. You've got tools where you can bold or make this italic or underline, that sort of thing. You can make a bulleted list or numbered list. You can indent so that you can really have a nice outline form here, just like you would put an outline form in a paper notebook or on any kind of other word processor. So very, very easy to do. Another great thing about Evernote is all the other things that you can add. Of course, you can type notes, okay? But what about other things that you get? Say the professor sends a PowerPoint presentation or makes that PowerPoint presentation available to everyone. Well, I can just simply, if I've got it on my desktop, I can simply drag it into the body of the note, and when I release it, it's automatically copied there for me. Here it is. I can double click it to open it up. The PowerPoint opens right in Evernote. I can make changes to it. And then when I exit and save that PowerPoint presentation, it's actually being saved right in Evernote. Other things that I can do. Let's say there's a particular image somewhere. I can drag an image into that same note. Let me resize this photo a little because that's one of the things that you can do and do very easily. Let's say you have a Word document that relates to this particular lecture. Easy to just drag a Word document right into the note. Let's say that I have a PDF. I drag it into the note. And what happens if I'm in the desktop version of Evernote, the PDF actually opens up so that I can just scroll from page to page. If I'm looking at this on Evernote Web, it's going to appear much more like the Word document or the PowerPoint presentation. It'll be more like a little icon that you can double click and open. But the PDF itself actually opens up fully. All of this is searchable. So I can search for a particular word. It will actually look for it in the PDF. If I have an image that has text in it, it will actually look for that search term in anything that's in a picture. Here we are now back out looking at all of our notebooks. There's our Fall 2020 stack. Let me click on that American History 101, and there's the note that we took. I see sort of a little preview of it here. If I double click on it, that note opens. Now, two heads are better than one. Let's say you and a friend are both taking this American history class. One of you can create this notebook in your Evernote, and if your friend also has an Evernote, you're able to share that notebook with them. Let's look at what that looks like. I'm going to go back to my notebooks, and here's American History 101. I'm going to click single on the three dots, and I'm going to say share notebook. A box will pop up where you can add the email address of the person that you want to share this with. You can give them the rights to just view this if you like, or to view and edit. So if you want to let someone borrow your notes to study, but you don't trust them to make any changes to it, you can share the notebook without edit privilege. If you want the two of you to work on the notebook together, share it with edit privilege. The only restriction is that two people cannot work on the same note at the same time, at least at this point in Evernote. The search capabilities are incredible. If you're looking for something in particular, you just search in Evernote. You can search the entire Evernote database, or you can search within one notebook. You can look for a certain search term just in the title or anywhere in the note. And as I mentioned earlier, you can look for a search term in a PDF or have it find it in a photo for you. It actually even does that. The ability to trap and store valuable information has always been something that's important to us. And the tools for how to do that get better all the time. Evernote's been around for 10 years and it only continues to improve, and that's what I foresee in the future. If you're a college student or anyone who stores and needs to retrieve valuable information digitally, take a look at Evernote. You can get started, and you can get started today for free. Let me give you a bit.ly link, bit.ly/buck Evernote, bit.ly/buck Evernote. You can create it for free. With that link, it actually gives me a little credit for it. If you ever did update to a paid account, I'd get a little money off of it, but that's not why I want you to use Evernote. I want you just because it's something that'll help you. If you like this video, how about giving it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel? Check out these other 2 videos and look at the others that are on the channel. I'm sure you'll find something that'll help your productivity go up and your stress level go down. This has been Frank Buck, helping you get organized and make it look easy.